everyone and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. So as the title already gave it away, today's video is going to be not about handbags for a change, but in case you're interested in luxury handbags, I think my channel will be right up your alley, so definitely consider subscribing. But yeah, today's video is going to be about Hermès scarves. So somewhat of a follow-up to a video that I filmed a couple of months ago where I unboxed a vintage Hermès scarf, and I did talk you through like a brief overview of some of the most prolific Hermès artists that work with Hermès on their silk creations. So yeah, I did ask you if you'd be interested in more videos in that kind of direction, talking about Hermès history in general, because I do collect the Le Monde Hermès magazines, and my collection goes back to like the 70s, if I'm not mistaken. So I do have somewhat of a vast collection of Hermès catalogs and magazines, and obviously that gives me like an insight in the Hermès history and what's been out there and all that. But today's video is going to be, it's kind of like inspired by this year's theme. So in case you weren't aware, Hermès has themes for every single year, and the theme for this year is in the spirit of the Faubourg. So the Faubourg part obviously tying back to the flagship boutique location in Paris, so that's on 24 Rue Faubourg Saint Honoré. So what I'm going to do in this video is go through 12-ish scarf designs that feature the Rue Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique building in some way or another, starting with a designer that will pop up, or like an artist that will pop up quite a number of times, which is Dimitri Rybaltchenko. And the first one that I want to mention is Noel au 24 Faubourg. So 24 being French for 24. 24 Rue Faubourg Saint Honoré is the address of the boutique. Obviously, I'm gonna try to include photos or like videos of every single piece that I'm mentioning. And some of them are fairly old, but I'm gonna try to find like links, either pre-loved or new, in the description box. So check them out. Maybe I'm inspiring to add a piece or two to your collection. But yeah, Noel, obviously, Christmas, it's very Christmas inspired, but so playful. It's like the design is basically like the Rue Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique inside a like snow globe, essentially. This is definitely one that is somewhat seasonal, but at the same time, depending on the colorway and once you tie it around your neck, you can definitely wear and use it year round. So in case I didn't mention, this one is quite an old-ish design, at least like in the grand scheme of things of the designs that I want to talk about, and it's from 2004. The next scarf that I want to talk about that features the Rue Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique is a fairly recent one. It's actually from this year, and there are quite a number of pieces that are current, which I guess ties back to the fact that the theme of this year is centered around the boutique. So this one is called Flagship Hermès, so definitely a play on words, because yeah, as you're seeing on the screen while I'm talking about it, it's a ship essentially. So it's kind of like, yeah, the building, which is kind of like a square shape, I guess, but like curved in a way that looks like a cruise ship. And on the bottom, obviously, you have the ocean, and the flagship sails through the sea. And yeah, it's such a fun play on words. Obviously, it also comes in a ton of different colors. And as I said, one artist will come up multiple times in this video. This is also by Dimitri Rybaltchenko. Let me quickly look down, because I did take some notes, because with most of Hermès scarves, but Rybaltchenko's one in particular, also Ugo Gattoni, you can spend hours looking on his scarves. I did talk a little more about his scarf designs in the video that I referenced, so check that out. I'm going to link it up here and in the description box below. But back to Rybaltchenko, what I was meaning to say is the longer you look at his designs, the more details you see and like you learn about. So if we look at the top left, that's actually, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, Aleus. That's the god of the wind, actually. And he's surrounded by what looks like dandelions. Then on the top right, we have Zeus with like lightning bolts and apparently a guitar in his hand, and there's like a drum set as well. Go figure. Then on the bottom right, we have Hermes, so the messenger of the gods, and he's surrounded by a couple of like flowing Hermes objects. So I think there's a Birkin with wings and like roller skates with wings, so kind of cute, kind of whimsical. And then the last corner, the bottom left, is a mermaid. Next up is a scarf design from spring/summer 2019, Faubourg Rainbow, and it's very like pop arty and very colorful, depends on the colorway, obviously. And this is also by Dimitri Rybaltchenko. Don't worry, I'm gonna get into some other artists in a second, but yeah, let me quickly, and then we're gonna move on to the next one. Let me quickly read you the, like, on most of these scarf designs you actually find like a short description on the Hermès website. Obviously, with like older designs. You can't really reference the website anymore because it's not available on the website, but I did find the text for this one. So it says, let's dive into the 60s and 70s at the heart of the psychedelic dream. Flower power is in full swing, the hippie philosophy is taking over the world, and peace, love, and non-violence rule supreme in this walking dream. Faubourg Saint Honoré is invaded by flowers, clouds, and rainbows with multicolored outlines, polka dots, and streaks of colors bursting through every corner. Hermès is peacefully bombarded by an army of rainbows, an invasion of incredible vegetation, and the columns in the nimbus penetrate through the windows in the building. Yeah, psychedelic dream. I think that describes it down to a T. So yeah, as I said, let's shift gears a little. There are a few more Dimitri Rybaltchenkos coming, but let's change it up a little. So the next one is the Faubourg Tropical. It's from spring-summer 2021, and I actually have, there we go. Again, the Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique in the middle, and it kind of ties back to the fact that the rooftop is actually like a garden. Yeah, normies definitely can't access the garden. It's basically for VIPs. So in case you're interested in photos, I guess check out like Michael Kost's Instagram. He's like he takes care of VIPs at the Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique. So chances are there will be some pictures from the roof garden. So essentially they tie back to the roof garden and then like expanded the garden into a jungle surrounding the Rue Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique. So yeah, super colorful, super intricate design, and there are a couple of animals as well. There's a leopard. So yeah, super fun, very colorful, and it's not by Dimitri Rybaltchenko. It's actually by two designers. So it's by Octave, Marsal, and Théo de Gueltzl. The full name will be on the screen, and I apologize in case I butchered it, but yeah, it also comes in different sizes. So I'm fairly certain that obviously the carré is the 90 by 90 centimeter scarf. That shows the entire, like what I just showed you, like the building in the center and then the jungle around it. But they're also Gavroche style, so Gavroche being the 45 by 45 centimeter, and that only shows like an excerpt of the full design. Maybe they even did like the cashmere and silk blend shawls, so those are like 140 centimeters square. Don't quote me, but I think they also did like the giant ones. Those, as I said, aren't like fully silk. I think like 30% silk, 70% cashmere is like the general compositions of those scarves. But yeah, gorgeous one. I think, do I have like, let's see. Yeah, this would be another colorway. Obviously only shows like rectangular cutout of the designs. The carré booklets used to come in like the square shape, and then they elongated it. Then they turned them into an A5 format, and then they discontinued them, which is quite a shame. But anyway, oh yeah, this is the A5 format, which I do need this one for one of the next scarves that I want to talk about. So that was the Faubourg Tropical. Let's go back to the presents. With the theme being focused on the Rue Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique, I do have a couple of scarves that are actually like current season that feature the Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique. So the next one is the Hermès Parade. This one is by Jonathan Burton, and it's such a fun and playful design. So basically, on some of the other designs that I talked about, the flagship boutique, like the building itself is like the center of the design. In this case, it's like the background basically, and then on the bottom you have like people holding balloons, and the balloons are ginormous. So you have like a 2 as a balloon, then you have a billiard ball with a 4 on it, so again 24, tying back to this current year, and the address of the Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique. So that's kind of cute. Then you have like a rocket ship, I think, and a couple of other like knickknacks. And like once you zoom out basically and focus not so much on the individual balloons, but on the shape that the balloons make out, you see that it's actually like a prancing horse, or like a running horse, which is, yeah, so cute, so playful, also very colorful. Obviously depends on the colorway that you go for, but yeah, I adore this design. So yeah, this is, as I said, a current one. And another one that's also from this year by a different artist again is by Elias Kafouros. He's a Greek artist, so yeah, chances are I didn't do his name justice, but yeah, based on my research, so far this should be like his second, maybe third Hermès scarf that he ever designed, which, yeah, compare that to Dimitri Rybaltchenko or like, let's see, Hugo Ricard. Those were or are very prolific artists when it comes to Hermès scarves. He's somewhat of a newbie, I guess, but yeah, his style is very fine brush strokes, looks like, yeah, a very sharp pencil, and he drew every single individual line. Very intricate, very, you might say a little busy, like on first glance, but at the same time, the busier the design, the longer time you can spend on the design, looking at it and like discovering new aspects. So I love that about Hermès scarves. Some of the designs are fairly plain and simple and like structural, not so many details. This one is very detailed. Like you have the, again, not like front and center, but you have the Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique somewhere there, but it's like warped in a way. And out of the top of the building, you have like more building branches like growing out of it essentially. And it's like kind of like in a vortex. So it's like curved, rounded. You'll see it on the screen. I'm probably not doing an amazing job in describing what I'm seeing on the scarf. But yeah, also you have like a train on the bottom and like a sea in the middle. And I think the description on the website said that the people in the train are actually the artisans, like, yeah, going to work essentially into the Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique, which also like, quick side note. Back in the day, I think the building or like the boutique was opened in 1880. Back in the day, they still had the saddlery and a couple of other like métiers inside the building, and also like private apartments, I think. Also, I think, I do think I have a photo of that. Like, yeah, this is like the current spring-summer 2024 Le Monde Hermès magazine. And let's see, oh, I might have to include like close-ups, but let's see. So this is the original facade, actually very dark, like from 1880, as I said. This one as well, and then they remodeled the outside basically, and probably the inside. And like as you can see, it used to have like only 2 stories or so, and currently it has like 4-ish stories, and the rooftop like at the top of the building. So this is like the current facade down here, and this like remodel and like addition of further floors was done, I want to say between 1924 and 1928 or something like that. So how did I end up here? Oh, right. So yeah, back in the day, they did have a couple of métiers inside the Hermès Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique, and that's kind of like, I guess, part of what the train of people and like artisans driving into the boutique kind of represents. I think I'm just like guessing here. Oh, did I mention the scarf name? I'm sorry. It's called Les Foiles du Faubourg. Anyway, so moving on to another one, also from this year, but it's not a carré. It's actually a 45 by 45 centimeter scarf, maybe a little smaller than 45 by 45. I think on the website it says like 42.5 in square. Don't quote me, but yeah. Also, it's not called Gavroche because Gavroche, the 45 by 45 centimeter silk scarf, they are from the women's line. This one that I'm going to talk about is from the men's line, actually. And I think, like, based on the photos on the website, Hermès intends those scarves to be worn as like pocket squares. But obviously, you're totally free in terms of the way you want to wear and carry and use those kind of scarves. And this one is called Pochette 45, so yeah, 45, 45. Trying to get better on my French number, so 45 being 45, Faubourg Party. And actually, what I did find out while I was flicking through a couple of my magazines is that this is actually not the first time that this was released. By the way, the artist, I have to look down for that, is Tibor Karpati. Not sure, again, if I butchered his name, probably yes. Anyway, so this is actually not the first time that this scarf was released, but so yeah, this is the Autumn-Winter 2021 Carré booklet, and here is the exact same scarf down here. So it's basically, again, front and center, the Hermès Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique in like a square shape, I guess. And like it looks like a boombox. Is that like the proper name? So yeah, a music box? No, music box sounds like jukebox. A boombox. Ghetto blaster? Can you say that? Is ghetto blaster like something you can still say? Anyway, so yeah, it's like a party themed, and if you look right up close, you can see like an elephant inside the building, which is kind of a unique choice. Anyway, so yeah, super cute design. It's like pixelated actually, so like an old school video game in terms of like the design and the like the pixelated style, which is kind of cute as well. And the second I laid eyes on this scarf for the first time, I was like, this looks familiar. Turns out it does. The same artist also designed a scarf around the Madison Avenue boutique in New York when it like was refurbished and like redone and reopened in September 2022, I think. And they did have like a limited release. I think that one was like 100 centimeters square and definitely same kind of like style, pixelated design. So super fun design, and maybe he's gonna produce some more scarves surrounding other like major boutiques. That would be super interesting, and yeah, so fun to collect. Although, yeah, talk about collecting. Once you get into like, yeah, collector's pieces in terms of Hermès scarves, like limited releases, special releases, they can fetch quite a premium on the pre-love market, but still. So this was the Pochette 45 Faubourg party. And another one of those like pocket square pochette kind of sizes from the men's line. By the way, they are also 100% silk, but apparently another type of silk compared to the women's ones, because on the website it says vintage silk. Whatever that means, probably a little like softer, I would guess. So this is called Faubourg en Perspective, also from this year, as I said, and it's by Anamorphe. And I think Anamorphe is not like one person, but like an artist duo. Let me quickly, again, sorry, I have to look down for that, but let me quickly look down and read you the text from the website. It's also like, as you see on the screen, it's like very geometrical. Founded by Charlotte Harpen and Bernard Houdin, this creative collective has taken the image of the famous building at 24 Rue Faubourg Saint Honoré and stretched it diagonally in the style of the optical games that fascinated 16th century scholars. Behind a delicate graphic composition of intertwining colored stripes, the lines of the building and its arches over the street emerge. And we recognize the horseman who stands at the top, at the pro of the hanging gardens, spiced up with pop colors. So yeah, very like geometrical design. We're gonna talk about one more that's very like straight lines, like, yeah, very architectural. Let's continue with, again, another Dimitri Rybaltchenko one. This one is from 2010. This is kind of like an interesting one. When I first looked at this design, my mind didn't immediately go to, obviously, yes, that's a Dimitri Rybaltchenko. It's also very like photo realistic. Maybe it's even like based on photos that were obviously highly edited to like make them work on a scarf. Who knows? But, oh, by the way, it's called Quand, soudain, which I think translates to when suddenly. You have 4 columns basically. So on the left, let's start from left and then work our way to the right. So you have like a view of Sacré-Cœur way like in the distance, and like on the way, like on the view there, you have like the roofs of Paris essentially, which both him as well as his uncle, who also designed scarves for Hermès, have a scarf design that is called Les Toits de Paris, so like the roofs of Paris, but I digress. So you have Sacré-Cœur with the roofs of Paris in the front. Then you have a picture of the Rue Faubourg Saint Honoré building, but like, as I said, more like photorealistic. Then you have a horse, and then you have another horse. I think like one is more up close than the other. And like on the up close one, you see like the arm of the rider essentially, and he has a flag in his hand. And the flag actually displays another one of Dimitri Rybaltchenko's scarf designs. I think it's called Vive Argent or something. So like, is it like liquid silver? It's been a while that I took French at school, but yeah. So it's a little different for him. Also, it's like kind of like comic style, which there are a couple of other ones that I'm going to talk about that also have like comic references, especially with the text box. So on the top it says Au même moment à Paris, tout était calme. So I think that translates to in one moment everything was quiet in Paris. Then in the middle it says, like in this little like text box, Quand, soudain, which obviously is the title of this scarf. So when suddenly, and then on the bottom it says à continuer or something. So like to be continued, and then basically like referencing comic books where you would have to like flick to the next page and like see what happens essentially. And I think this only came in the 70 by 70 scarf design. So yeah, Hermès does have a variety of dimensions when it comes to their silk scarves. Anyway, next one is a little more recent. It's actually from spring-summer 2022, and it's called Minuit au Faubourg. Again, also by Dimitri Rybaltchenko, and this is also so fun and playful. So this one doesn't show the entire building. It's basically like the top 2 floors maybe-ish. So you have the rooftop, and then you have like a horse with like a mask and like a huge cape which says like H on it, and he looks over the city, and in the background you have a couple of landmarks. The next one, and the last Dimitri Rybaltchenko one that I want to talk about, is also kind of like a comic styly theme. It's a little older, it's from fall winter 2017, and I was able to find it in one of my Histoire de Carré booklets. So here we are, and again it features the horse kind of like as a hero with a cape and the mask, and yeah, it's it's called Space Shopping au Faubourg, and you can see like the UFOs basically stealing via like zooming or like beaming up the orange boxes, and yeah, the horse kind of like looks at it but doesn't really do anything. So is he really a hero? Maybe he's in cahoots with the aliens. Anyway, so yeah, and again, like cartoony or like comic-y style at the top, it says Space Shopping au Faubourg, so like the theme and the name of the scarf design, and in this like text box situation. Anyway, so that's the last Dimitri Rybaltchenko one that I wanted to talk about. Quickly addressing the last scarf that I want to talk about, I found this in the Hermès Scarf History and Mystique coffee table book. It's called Piqué Sellier. I did mention like there was the Faubourg en perspective from Anna Morphe, which was like more structural and didn't like display the building like in detail with the facade and everything. Is more like structural and like architectural line, and same applies to this one. So there was that, and that concludes the list of scarf designs that feature the Rue Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you found it interesting, or like you learned something new. Oh, also, if you own any of these scarf designs that I talked about, or if you are aware of more scarf designs that feature the Rue Faubourg Saint Honoré boutique that I didn't mention in this video, I would love to hear it in the comment section below. Yeah, let me know which one was your favorite out of the ones that I talked about. Again, I'm gonna try to include links to every single scarf that I talked about. Some of them might be a little harder to find. I'm even gonna try my luck to find some of the, or like at least one of the Madison Avenue, like limited release Madison party scarves. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. As I said, there are so many more aspects that I could talk about when it comes to Hermès scarves. Maybe I'm going to do a video where I talk about one artist in particular, because there are tons of artists and some of them were really prolific. I would be able to fill like an hour talking about one artist solely, because yeah, not only Dimitri Rybaltchenko but a ton of other artists did produce like tons of scarf designs. Or if you want like more themed specific videos, so regardless of the artist, but like all the nautical themes, or the horse themes, or the like, there are a couple of London themed scarves as well, obviously Paris themed scarves, even some New York City ones. If you're interested in anything in particular, a specific artist, a specific theme, do let me know. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Consider subscribing, give it a thumbs up, and I'm gonna catch you on one of the next videos. Bye.